How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Santa Claus is Comin' to Town. This is from 1970, produced and directed by Arthur Rankin Jr. and Jules Bass. So yes, another of the Rankin and Bass classic stop-motion Christmas specials. This one stars Fred Astaire, Mickey Rooney, and Keenan Wynn. And I have to say, this is a really good one. This is one of the all-time classics, and this is definitely in the top 3 along with Rudolph and Frosty. And it's really cool. I watched it again to do this review, and I have to say, this really was what I needed. A nice helping dose of Christmas spirit. This really does put you in a festive mood, and I cannot stress how important these Rankin and Bass specials are for that very reason. So much nostalgia and cheer. If you're ever not really feeling the Christmas spirit, find some of these and go and watch them. It will really help you out. And since I've watched this again, I've of course gotten put one foot in front of the other, stuck in my head ever since. A really good and classic song about redemption and trying to be the best you can every single day. And there's other ones too, like First Toy Maker to the King, where you get this cool blend of stop motion as well as traditional 2D animation with a good reprisal from the Meisterburger. And talk about the Meisterburger as well, one of the classic Christmas villains, in the way that he has this war on toys and kind of turns Santa into this Robin Hood character. It has some good messages about questioning oppressive governments, but also having Santa sort of become who he is by going through all these trials, and we get to learn how he came up with all this stuff that became so iconic later. But he's Robin Hood, but he's a super positive Robin Hood. I mean, the first time he sees the Meisterburger, he tries to give him a toy, and honestly almost turns him right at that first encounter. And the idea that you can be this rebel figure but also stay positive and stay looking for the good in people and constantly knowing what is right and holding true to that, he's a really good, positive character, and it's really everything a Santa should be. And it's also just a really good idea for a Christmas special. Santa has all these weird things, you know, why does he have 2 names or a red suit? Why does he sneak around at night and go down chimneys? Well, this special seeks to answer those. It acts as an origin story, and it comes off very charming and endearing, and it's a really good idea for a Santa story and is probably one of the best Santa movies out there. Overall, I really do love this thing. It really does get you into the Christmas spirit. It's a really good concept for a Christmas movie, and to see Santa go in and literally fight to bring cheer to this town, it's a really good one, and it's one that I can always get into, and I really love to see it. And if somehow you haven't seen it, literally go out and watch it right now. It is something that I say put on every single year for Christmas. It's really good. But I guess in order to analyze it further, let's talk a bit about the plot. I'm not going to be doing any major spoilers, but I do want to break down and analyze a few things. So I'm gonna be avoiding the end, but let's dig a little deeper. We open up with a postman, and he says, I get so many questions about Santa. In fact, this whole little truck here is full of kids' letters to Santa, and he opens up a few and reads off some common questions a kid might have. Why do you have a beard? Where did you get your red suit? And that's going to be the framing mechanism for the special. And I will say, yeah, as an adult, you're like, don't open those letters, postman, that's a federal crime. But anyway, we then cut to the past when Santa was a baby. He was given to the Meisterburger, who is the ruler of this town, and he says, a baby? What am I supposed to do with that? Throw it in the orphan asylum, setting up his character really early on there. And we do get, there's like all his soldiers, and we get the one soldier with the mustache who's like the leader, and he's a funny little guy, but he takes the baby out in the storm, and the wind blows the this little sleigh away. Well, luckily we're in a fairy tale world and the animals are super smart. They see the baby and give it to a family of elves, the Kringles. And that's sort of why Santa has the two names there. He was Claus, but now he's adopted by the Kringles. And they raise him, and we get to find out their origin story, especially through the first Toy Maker to the King song. But it turns out they are toy-making elves, and they kind of have this elf compulsion to make toys. They used to deliver their toys to the local town, but the Winter Warlock has since blocked them off and controls most of the forest now. And young baby Santa Claus says, when I get older, I'm going to go through the woods and I'm going to deliver your toys for you. And you can see how he sees a problem and he wants to do what's right and he wants to bring joy to the world. I will say with the Kringles, they're all like, you know, short little elves with like one taller one that's the queen, so maybe they're a little like xenomorphs, don't think about that. But the little elves, I did always wonder, we have a bunch of old elves, where did all the other elves come from? Because when we see them again in Rudolph, they all look very different and there's a lot of young ones. I don't know, maybe they would recruit other elves after the special's over, I don't know. But anyway, he's raised by the elves, he's raised to be a toy maker. He also has good relationships with the animals and they teach him how to do things, and that's how he can climb up the walls and go down your chimney and stuff. So it's a good origin story and it's a good way of fleshing out this sort of do-good, innocent character. Well, when he's grown up, and there's a great transition when he just turns to the camera older saying, I'm a man now. It's always one of my favorite parts. It's a little campy, but he goes out to the town of Somberville and needs to give them the toys. However, recently, the Burgermeister had tripped and fallen down the stairs because one of the kids left their toys on a step, and now all toys are banned all throughout the city. And as anyone who's ever grown up in a high school knows, yeah, that whole punishing everybody for the one incident, oh, that really gets you. But we get to see how this kind of war breaks out. The whole town is so dreary and gray, and then Santa, you know, walking in there with his bright red suit and his super colorful toys. Great visual metaphor, and the way he constantly has to go in, he always has to get a little more creative, a little more sneaky to try to get these toys to the kids, and the Burgermeister's going to keep taking them, even in one scene getting a big pile of toys and burning it. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of World War II imagery in this, and yeah, that does bring up a good point of, you know, you really should be questioning authority, and you really should be looking out for government oppression. And you really do get that also through the character of Jessica, a young school teacher who moved to the town, and the first time she sees Santa, she's just going to say, you can't give them toys, that's illegal. But over the course of the special, she's obviously going to get more and more on Santa's side and eventually start to question the society that she's a part of. And yeah, like I said, a good and important metaphor. But over the course of doing all this, over the course of being more and more sneaky, he will start to become the Santa Claus that we all know and love. I can't give out the toys in the daylight anymore. Let's sneak around by night. Oh, the doors are all locked now. Better go down the chimney. And so forth and so forth. And I really do like, as the special goes on, you get more and more of those moments. You get to see Santa amassing a little team of people that have kind of been won over by him, and you get to see his operation getting bigger and becoming what we know it to be in the future. And like I said, there's so many good songs, the way they build up in momentum, and you really do get pulled into this. Even if you've seen the special a million times, you always watch it and get really engaged. And overall, yeah, this is one of my favorites. It's an absolute classic, and definitely watch it every single year. It's such a good idea. An origin story for Santa Claus, and all the songs and the animation. It's one that came out really, really good. And yeah, definitely check it out. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Rankin and Boss playlist where you can see me talk about other specials. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very soon. Relevant playlist here. Have a good day now.